Good evening, race fans, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Area 51 Thursday Xfinity Superspeedway Series here on Green, White, Checkered TV. We have the 2.66-mile Talladega Superspeedway, 75 laps in store for you this evening, and we are very excited to get the final race of the regular season underway. We will have just one more chance for the top 16 to cement their names for eligibility in the playoffs here at Area 51 for the first championship of 2024. We are currently live above the beautiful Talladega Superspeedway as drivers are entering their lone qualifying session to try and grab the bonus point for the pole. And we will bring in that championship standings overlay for you now to see where we are at. Obviously, a couple guys at the top of the leaderboard have been doing really great all season long. Our top five are all race winners so far this season. Plenty of top fives and top tens amongst them, but you look all the way down to 13th place. Jack Walls, with the win he had last week, gained him 7 spots in the championship, went from outside looking into pretty confidently in the top 16 in points, now having a 12-point buffer over Dean Wilkinson in that 16th position. So good run for Jack last week to grab the win at iRacing Superspeedway and grab himself a playoff spot for the moment. We've got a tie between him and Ambrose Knievel there in 14th. Adam Kilday's 3 points behind them, and he is only 9 above the cut line of Dean Wilkinson at 136. We'll be looking to follow those names all night long as we see Brandon Paul, the first car out at the moment. He is 5 points back, and we've got 16 points back in 18th Keith Horner Jr. Ryan Decker's a few more points behind him there in the 19th position. Bob Fitzgerald and Austin Call as well. It will be a challenge for all of these drivers to get into the top 16 in points and be ready to go for the championship. But tonight we'll decide that, and we will be back for the final 4 races after tonight's to crown our champion in the series here. Looks like we've got about a minute and a half left in the qualifying session. And why don't we introduce our second chair here, Mr. Matt Wagner. How are you doing tonight?
The real question is, how you doing? You getting storms down toward your way? I know it's gonna get hairy tomorrow. So I know where you live, but yeah. Speaking of storms, it's about to get a little stormy here at Talladega. How about it, bud?
Yeah, it should be fun, and hopefully or thankfully there's no rain in this sim session here, so we won't have to worry about that. But
No, I want to see him run in the rain. I really do.
yeah, that will do that at a super speedway. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see with
No,
iRacing
I don't
adding it.
think.
But
Yeah, I don't think that would suit well for these cars.
probably not. But we've got
Nope.
75 laps to battle it out here, and in just a moment we'll be done with that qualifying session, and we'll be able to bring up that starting grid and get us ready and rolling for the evening. So we know we've got a pretty solid field here tonight so far. And again, we'll have to keep an eye on those names that we mentioned. Ambrose Knievel, Adam Kilday, Dean Wilkinson currently in the playoff hunt, in the positions for the playoffs right now through 14th through 16th. Brandon Paul, first car looking out. Keith Horner Jr., Ryan Decker, Bob Fitzgerald, and Austin Call. As we will see how these guys managed in qualifying. Gabe Butler there is going to grab a bonus point for himself with the pole position there. Dean Wilkinson in the 55 to his outside is going to start on the outside row. Dean currently the last car in on points at the moment. Rick Sanchez in that number 5 Chevrolet is going to start to the inside of row number 2, and last week's winner Jack Walls in the 83 is going to start outside of row number 2. Eric Laurie for Team Bootnaka is going to be in the 071 inside row 3. Bud Steele is going to be the number 6 car starting in the 6th position, and that's happened a few times lately. It's always funny to see the 6th car in the 6th place. Adam Kilday, one of those that are outside looking in. He is 14 points to the good at the moment, or nine points to the good over the cutoff, at least, of Dean Wilkinson. So he's looking to have a good night here tonight as well. And Jeremy Osborne's going to start his outside in row number 4. We've got Carl Lingle and Ambrose Kniebel, 2 Blind Squirrel Racing teammates, to make up the row number 5, to make up the rest of the top 10. Brandon Paul there, he is your first driver, 1 spot out of the playoffs. Only 5 points behind Dean Wilkinson at the moment. He'll be looking to have a good night tonight to get into the championship run for the playoffs and the final 4 races. Andrew Palesci, his teammate, is going to start to his outside. And on the second page of the grid here, we've got Kevin Freese and Maxwell Caldwell electing not to take a time. They're going to start row number 7 with Rafael Eckert in the inside of row 8 with Patrick Groover to his outside. Brother Seth Groover is going to start just behind him, but on the inside row in that number 32 machine, as Ryan Decker is going to make up the outside of row number 9. Nick Wing and Jim Brooks will take home the last few spots in the top 20, as Keith Horner and Bob Fitzgerald, as well as Brandon Briggs and Brian Wang, will round out the starting grid for the race tonight.
Well, fun fact, Ralph Eckert is making his first Super Speedway start, and he made a nice little impressive run in our Tuesday night IndyCar Series, winning on his first go-around, which is actually very impressive. Driving on that hot track at Fontana, California, I'm anxious to see what he brings to the Super Speedway table. As you would say, we have to wait and see.
Yeah, we will. So good opportunities for Rafael early on in the Area 51 leagues. We'll see how he can fare in the Super Speedway Xfinity Series here tonight as we get ready for 75 laps of action. See all the green in the field, couple regular cars, but a lot of special paint schemes. The green for St. Patrick's Day, and none other than Gabe Butler rocking the green and gold Guinness scheme tonight as we celebrate, Pi Day today, but we celebrate St. Patrick's Day on the 17th, this Sunday.
No comment on the Pi Day.
Yeah, 3.14.
Oh, never mind. Carry on.
Yep. Yep, 3.14, Pi Day.
You're smarter than I am.
It's Einstein's birthday.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Also happens to be my dad's birthday. So
really?
Happy birthday to him.
How old's your dad?
A lot older than me.
Come on, bro.
Honestly, don't even remember. Somewhere in the 50s or 60s there.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going to get ready to go here through the tri-oval. Gabe Butler going to get up to speed here. A long wait through the tri-oval as they get to the Geico restart zone. There we go. Green flag is in the air. Barney the flagman waving it proudly here as Dean Wilkinson is going to get a good jump on the outside, but him and Gabe Butler will lead us around for the first lap here at
Talladega. You had to do that, didn't you?
Always, whenever we're here.
Oh, God. Okay. Well, I usually do my picks before the start of the race. I'm a little bit late. You know what? I've been dreading this for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to go with the 071 Eric Laurie. This man has been pretty loyal to our fellow boot knockers. This man, last time he got a nice little top 3 finish, he finished with a missing front clip. That is the last time we talked to this man. Hopefully he can pull on to the victory here tonight.
He's got a good starting spot to do it. Hoping to see most of the front of the pack tonight as we settle out 2 by 2 with plenty of room for a third lane not formed yet. Muff Duff already picking Bud Steele for the win. Bud Steele has yet to get a win this season, but had at least a win. I think maybe actually a couple wins in the last series in 2023. and a really good run at the championship there at the end. But that 6 machine can never count him out, as he will be solidly in the points positions for the playoffs right now, sitting 7th. Quite a few points. I'm not even going to bother doing the math. Actually, it's 40. It's an even number, so 40 points ahead of our cutoff. There's a lot of green up the front here, and it looks good.
Oh yeah,
Usually green
plenty of
is,
green.
unlucky for a race car, at least as far as the old school racers might say, but we got a lot of green in the field tonight.
Yeah, Muff, it's all your fault. 100%. That's why you don't win. So you got to root against him to win. For some reason, I have the magic touch to make that happen.
Only when you interview them, though, before the race.
Oh, well, I can change that. But we have to have yellow, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of green,
Gaming Guy L. Notorious for running green paint schemes, or at least a green, red, and white, yellow one in other series. Although I think he's also a fan of the yellow race cars.
Oh yeah, what do you call it? The pissed off Bumblebee. Yeah, that's him.
Pretty quiet so far. We got a couple challengers in the outside lane trying to make something happen here. Eric Laurie has found his way to the front of the inside line with help of Adam Kilday in the 85, the 5, and the 88 linked up in the outside. And that is the 32 leading the way in the outside, Seth Groover. He's got help from the 05 of Brian Wang at the moment.
Yeah, it won't take them long. Well, if they have a third car behind. Oh, we got a wreck right behind.
Wrecking behind. Yellow flag is out. That's a big hit.
Yes, it was.
Andrew Pileshi involved, Keith Horner Jr., Maxwell Caldwell. Big impact for the 18, I believe, of Brandon Briggs as well. Bob Fitzgerald just barely able to skate through that. Let's see if we can ride along with the 94 of Maxwell Caldwell and see what happened here. By this point, he's already getting turned to the outside wall. So we'll grab a better TV view of it, and we will rewind here with your patience, as we will see. Oh, Kevin Freese gets out of whack there, too. All right, so further up in the pack, the 25 and the 41 get a little squirrely there. And then you see the 25 clipping the apron in the grass. Potentially a push from the 18 there that got him a little sideways as the 94 and the 82 stack up. And then that puts the 94 up in the outside wall in front of the 87 with nowhere to go for the 18 or the 04, as the 51 and the 08 just barely make it by. And that will bring out our first yellow for tonight. As we should be able to jump back live and see if we can see anybody coming down pit road here. Alright, so we've got the green Chevy Land 5 Camaro. Eric Laurie always running the John Deere scheme, so he's got some green there too. Gabe Butler, green and gold Guinness machine for tonight. Dean Wilkinson with a little bit of green accents on that car. And then we got Seth Groover, as Karen has pointed out, they're running the Yoshi and the Mario cars tonight, so love to see that Nintendo theme.
Mm-hmm.
Got a few more here. We got some green on the 6 of Bud Steele, an all-green car for him tonight. And the 41 of Jeremy Osborne, you see the 54 of Patrick with the Mario car. Jeremy Osborne and Raphael's got a little green in his car, and then Jim Brooks always with the lovely Area 51 green scheme. Actually, a little bit of green for Brandon Briggs on that wrecked race car there for him, unfortunately. As Dean has already made his way through the pits, rolling through without taking any fuel, so would believe that he may be coming through the next time to grab some extra fuel. He'll get off pit road first, as well as Bud Steele and Nick Wing, who also neglected, or declined, I should say, to take fuel or tires. Rick Sanchez, first car taking tires. Sorry, not tires, just fuel. And Kevin Freese, Ryan Decker, Keith Horner, and Brandon Briggs are all waiting to repair additional damage from that yellow.
Yeah, Kevin was not all that bad, but the 18 got really the most of it. Yeah, I think the 18. I don't think he towed, did he? No, okay, I see what happened here. So he did have a meatball flag. He elected to try and save his fast repair and get the wheel. Oh, my apologies. So he got the wheel fixed. I'm guessing about 20-25 seconds, and it's going to be a long time for repair for Brandon. If I would have used my fast repair for that, it's going to be a long night for Brandon. He's going to be awfully slow when we take the green.
Yeah, he's Ryan Decker's actually out of the pits now. Brandon Briggs is still in the pits, and it looks like a few are going to come back down a second time to take fuel, but that'll be a good opportunity for us to take our first commercial break.
.40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. .40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
And under commercial break, you saw the commercial for 4dracewear.com. Make sure you use code AREA5115, that's AREA5115 for 15% off your order at 4dracewear.com. They're going to be raffling off a pair of gloves to 3 lucky drivers in the field for each of our 3 series. So that's 3 pairs of gloves they will be donating to us and our drivers here at Area 51. And last season they donated a pair of racing shoes to all 3 of our champions. So definitely appreciate the support from Craig Forsyth and the guys over there at 4dracewear.com.
Speaking of support, I'm really digging Dean Wilkinson's paint scheme. That is, I think Gaia will be kind of jealous for that one.
I knew he had the green accents there.
And a green white checkered logo on the front too. That's a green white checkered little Xfinity car. It's really nice looking. That's a hell of a job, Dean.
I didn't even notice that at first. Yeah, that's great. I love to see that. Some broadcast support for Dean Wilkinson. Always appreciate that. I know Jim Brooks always runs the Area 51 car, which has some green white checker TV logos on it. I think in some places, yeah, there's one on the hood there, but yeah, I love to see all the green paint schemes come out, and really appreciate Dean for rocking the green white checker TV colors here, supporting us, and all you guys and gals supporting us in the chat already. It's been an eventful first 10%, but we still are rolling, Matt.
I am not the best painter, so I don't have time for that. So these guys are good. By the way, green flag is back in the air, and there is a lot of people single file.
Yeah, a lot of cars came down to pit a second time for fuel, electing to throw their track position to the wind. As we get rolling here, 4 cars in the outside lane, 5 cars now, as pretty much everybody else is going to rock in the inside lane single file here, but we'll get sorted out in just a moment here as we get up to speed. A couple cars jumping to the bottom. That's the 5 and the 85 working together. Adam Kilday and Rick Sanchez as Rick gets back to the lead. They're going to pull Jack Walls around with them, and they got a couple of Blind Squirrel Racing teammates there with them, as well as Raphael Eckert in the 5th position at the moment. As we're going to cross the straight to start lap 10 this time by.
Oh wait, Gaio, are you happy because Seth Gruber's finally run the Yoshi scheme? Now you can finally make him happy now, because you was talking about that last week.
Appreciate our fearless leader, Gael, jumping in here as well to make sure we're not goofing off on the broadcast. It was interesting that so many people came down pit road a second time for what is, a lap of extra fuel under caution, but isn't going to mean as much under green flag conditions. But it's kind of an awkward lap count because that's going to break the race down to basically 70 laps to go at that point. But with 19 to 20 laps in the window for fuel, it really doesn't help you stretch it to the end. If it were 10 laps, and I could see where that might, mitigate one extra pit stop that you don't have to take. But interesting to see so many guys coming down early on. But who knows? They'll be in a better position as we see the third lane trying to form a big move in the middle there for the Gruber brothers.
Yes.
As the 16 has found his way to the inside and to the lead as he shuffles Jack Walls to the middle lane with the push now from the 5 and the 85 in the inside lane. And Patrick and Seth coming strong in the outside lane in the Mario and Yoshi machines.
Yeah, here we go again. You remember this guy, Al? This was epic when these guys ran the Mario. Yoshi and Mario schemes.
And Gael has kindly permitted them to have some candy post-race for running the schemes that we see.
Kaylin, it's good to see you in the chat. Where is your man running? Oh, I don't see him. There he is.
Currently in 10th place. There he is. Yep.
10th place.
Had a little bit of damage to repair there. He's also got a. I think I didn't mention it, but he's also got a green and white scheme. Green and white. Normally it's purple and white with the Sensi logos on that 48 machine, but he's kind of riding out just behind our 3 wide action here.
Yeah.
It's another one of the green machines here tonight. See, Matt, Karen knows what Pi Day is.
Oh God, no comment. I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm gonna be a good boy. My
you might be a little old to be adopted, Gael, but we can.
Oh my God.
There's some racing going on.
Yes, there is.
3
and
wide
the Gruber
still.
brothers need. Yeah, the Gruber brothers need somebody to go up there with them, to make that third line to work. Because them two together are like very strong, but the third car is missing. If they have that third car, I guarantee you that those cars go straight to the lead. Yeah,
they are about able to get even with the 5 there at the end of the back straightaway, but just not enough momentum there in that lane as the 16, the 85, and the 30 now riding around the bottom with the 5, the 83, and the 28 in the middle, and the 32 and the 54 in the outside lane as they are going to tuck
I think they've given up.
Middle.
Yeah, they've given up. Well, not much all pushing and shoving just yet. No intense side drafting like we saw the other week. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's been fairly quiet for Talladega here so far. Obviously, the ability to run 3 wide is pretty easy here compared to most of the other super speedways that we go to, other than maybe iRacing Superspeedway. But it's definitely a lot more comfortable to do, and you can see the painted lines, how easily they can run 3 wide there, but 2 wide for now, as pretty much everybody in the pack here all lined up together. The only one that's not is Brandon Briggs by himself still at the moment. He is quite a bit underpowered after spending 3 minutes on pit road trying to make repairs after the first yellow that was brought out by the 25 spinning through the grass and a couple cars getting bunched up, checked up, and into each other and into the outside wall.
Yeah, he should have took that fast repair, and now it's really going to bite him because now he's going to go from one lap down to 2. But the good news is he's the only car not on the lead lap. So if the caution would come out now, he looks like he's coming to pit road. Yeah.
Yep, he's coming in pit road this time.
I think he heard me. Saying I fixed that car, man.
Trying to mitigate that damage there. Obviously, we'd be better to come down under yellow flag conditions, but you don't ever know when the next one is coming, and always have to assume that there won't be one for the rest of the race. But the 5 is going to jump down to the bottom ahead of Raphael Eckert, and he is going to grab that lead back. Last week's winner, Jack Walls, promoted to the lead of the middle lane with the Mario brothers, Mario and Yoshi. I guess not Mario brothers, but Mario and Yoshi lined up nose to tail. Dean Wilkinson, 4th car in the outside lane, having a good showing right now. He is the last spot in the playoffs at the moment as of the start of the race, trying to make his bid into the playoffs. The top 16 will compete for the championship over the final 4 races of the season, and those 16 will be settled with the conclusion of tonight's event.
Other than that first incident, Raphael Eckert looks like he's holding his own down there. I'm not sure if he's new to superspeedway racing or not, and I really haven't had a chance to talk to him. But his IndyCar skills are very good, but he's yet to prove himself here in the superspeedway. I have yet to see it.
Have to wait and see. 83 of Jack Walls is going to jump down to the inside. Push from the Gruber brothers as they are going to now be the first 2 cars in the outside lane, with the help of the beautiful green white checker TV paint scheme of Dean Wilkinson. Keith Horner there further on the back, trying to make that outside lane work with him.
Yeah.
Got some help from Ryan Decker, but go ahead, man.
I was wondering where in the heck is Gabe Butler and company? We haven't seen them since the drop of the green flag.
Yeah, they're hanging out in the back here. Kind of quiet.
It is very quiet. That's crazy. Usually I would see them, pushing up, having a good time. But, Kevin Freese does love the fuel-saving strategy.
Yeah, we see Eric Rory,
Kevin
Freese, Brian
I had to
Wayne,
do it to you.
Gabe Butler here. 13th,
Yeah.
14th, 15th, 13th, 15th, 16th, and 20th at the moment. Just kind of riding around towards the back. Most of the action happening up here in the first 4 rows, 2 by 2, 4 deep. 8 cars under a blanket at speeds over 190 miles an hour.
Close to 200.
Here we go. There's the button. See Jack Walls here. The speed he has.
Nice. They split
through the corner. Split the Gruber brothers.
I'd say Patrick split and he went straight to the back, and he's going all the way to the back. Interesting.
He was the front car, so I don't know if that's just a fuel saving thing or what, but Raphael Eckert's going to jump to the outside. Had the help, then Adam Kilday ditched him and filled the hole back up. Raphael's got the 32 of Seth Gruver. So it's Jack Walls in the 83, the 5 of Rick Sanchez, Adam Kilday in the 85 in the inside lane.
Well,
Raphael Eckert and the 32 of Seth Gruver in the outside lane with Keith Horner and Kevin Freese further on back.
I was getting ready to say, since I called out Kevin, his masterful fuel saving, he decided to. All right, I'm getting shammed on broadcast. Time to move forward.
I don't remember. I know the Highlighter Bros, who are unfortunately not able to make it tonight, are one of the groups that listens to the broadcast live. I believe Maxwell Caldwell has said the same thing. I don't know if any of the Team Bootknocker drivers have claimed to listen to us or not.
Yeah, you know what? This is just an assumption, but Raphael Eckert has gotten himself to the lead. Interesting. Well done there, Raphael.
Grabbing the spot over the 83 of Jack Walls, last week's winner. And be the last week to join us next week. It will close, entries will, as we get ready for the playoffs and settle our champion over the final 4 races. Just about through the first third of this one, we saw a caution early on at about lap 5. And we've been pretty quiet, mostly single file through the rest of the action so far up until now. As the 32 and the 16 with the 25 lead the outside lane. So the lap car of Brandon Briggs there. To wait and see, looks like he may have finally taken that fast repair. Should be able to keep up with the pack now. And I think that'll put him 3 laps down. Nope. Yes, 2 and 3 now as the leader passes him there. So he'll be 3 laps down. As Keith Horner is actually the leader on the inside, getting the push from the 83.
Keith Horner straight to the lead. Good to see him. Good to see some new faces up toward the front now.
Yeah, he is 16 points off of the cutoff. And is going to have a lot of points to make up if he wants to try and get into our playoffs. We'll try and have that updated as early as possible, hopefully before the end of the broadcast, so we can let you know who's going to race for that championship over the final 4 weeks. But Keith Horner right now trying to do everything he can within his power. Dean Wilkinson sitting in 10th at the moment, which doesn't bode well for Keith, but there are other cars that he could pass if they do not have a good day. Adam Kilday is 2 spots ahead of him in the points. 3 spots actually, but Adam's got a bigger lead there, and he is currently in the 6th position. Good night so far. So Keith's going to need a little bit of help and a good finishing position to try and grab that final spot. And we're getting pretty close to our first set of green flag pit stops here.
I was getting ready to cue that up because we're getting awfully close. Because we went green back at what, lap 9? Am I correct?
Yes,
there,
coming
boss?
to 9. Yep.
So these guys could typically run about 20... My math is so off. 24 to 25 laps? It's actually, we're thinking about maybe about 8 laps of fuel left, possibly.
Pretty close to it.
I could be right. I could be wrong. But there's a lot of people single file right now. It's been relatively calm. And as I say every week there, boss, pit stops will make you or break you.
That they will. Have to make sure you can execute to get in and out of pit road, and make sure you have a friend or two to draft with. See a few cars sliding on back, including Raphael Eckert there. Trying to find a spot to get in line. He's got a dancing partner in Brandon Briggs now. And
he's got
54 as well.
He's got about 6 laps to do it. I'm pretty sure he's more than capable of getting himself toward the front. But looks like Brandon Briggs is trying to get one of his 3 laps back the hard way. He's got more fuel than anybody else here. So he really don't have to worry about fuel right now.
Yeah, Brandon
But
last
the risk, but the risk you take is by getting an X. And once you get an X, when the caution comes out, you are pretty much unjustified of getting the lucky dog.
They had a pretty good head of steam there in the outside lane, but it kind of fizzled out as the 16 is now about even with the third place car in line. Seth Groover continuing to lead us around the speedway as the 16 is trying to get to the front, as he's going to pull off and go to the back, it looks like. Actually, they're just kind of trading positions back there, trying to get maybe Brandon up to the lead. No, everyone's getting down to get ready for pit stops.
I'm getting a lot of late radio cues that these guys are pitting right now, including our leader.
See how they get down to pit road speeds, as it looks like most of the field is going to come this time by. Big lockup there for Seth.
Ooh, Seth, that was a big lockup. I don't see any speeding penalties. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, Bob.
So Ryan Decker is going to remain on the speedway. Eric Laurie, Nick Wing, Andrew Pleshy, and Brian Wang. Speeding penalty for Bob Fitzgerald, it sounds like, on pit road this time.
Yeah. Man, unfortunately, he got caught nabbed for speeding, but that's the way it goes.
See if we can see who's going to come down this time by.
Yeah, Ryan Decker, Eric Laurie, looks like Nicholas Wing, Andrew Paleshi, Brian Wang, all them at Gabe Butler.
Contact between the 48, the 28, the 82, the 51, the 94, as they get completely stacked up on pit road.
That is really going to hurt.
Eric Laurie, Gabe Butler, the only two, I think, not getting into trouble there on pit road. As we're going to see Brian Wang drafting with the lap car of Brandon Briggs, staying out. And that is going to be a lot of damage for a lot of drivers, but more importantly, a lot of ground lost on the green flag pit cycle here.
You like my pick now, boss. Looking pretty good so far, but he doesn't have a dancing pattern when he's coming out of pit road. That's really going to hurt Eric Laurie coming out.
So Brian Wang will be the last to pit. We're going to cycle back to the first group of those who pit here, as Rick Sanchez is going to inherit the lead with Seth Groover, Jack Walls, Patrick Groover, Adam Kilday, and company. Gabe Butler is going to be 1.5 seconds off the tail of Dean Wilkinson, and that number growing, but he's going to have teammate Eric Laurie with him there to hopefully help get back up to that pack. Ryan Decker with the impact, the issues on pit road there. He is going to have Jeremy Osborne and Ambrose Knievel get around him, but should be able to get back into their draft. Maxwell Caldwell and Bud Steele are linked up at the moment. And then Jim Brooks by himself a little further back. Andrew Paleshi and Brandon Paul should be able to link up with Nick Wing. And then Keith Horner here, who pit on lap 29 a little bit further back. He has the lap car of Brandon Briggs. And then Bob Fitzgerald serving the penalty will likely be going one lap down here fairly shortly, as we'll pan back and you see the field coming full head of steam for Rick Sanchez and company.
You know what? Eric Laurie and Gabe Butler are about to catch Brian Wang here. With 3 cars there, they have a real good legitimate shot to catch back up to the lead pack here. But as I look back deeper in the field, like Jerry Osborne and Ryan Decker Maxwell, they're in deep trouble there.
Yeah, that spin and all the contact they made definitely hurt them quite a bit. That 9-second gap that you'll see on the ticker there is going to be almost
Chat,
solely
boys.
from that issue there. But Rick Sanchez and this group here executing the best on their green flag pit stop. And we've got 9 drivers currently in contention for the race win, working on lap number 33. That's Rick Sanchez, Seth Gruber, Jack Walls, Patrick Gruber, Adam Kilday to name the top 5. As Rafael Eckert is working here on the outside by himself, trying to see how many spots he can try and grab without any help at the moment.
Must be the luck of the Irish, because we got 2 green cars leading the race. And just happen to be in the same Discord together.
We got some fans of Rafael Eckert chiming in.
Oh, really? Yeah, Raphael, I had a nice little conversation with him after the race. He runs in the Brazilian league, which is a Brazilian IndyCar league, which is filled with pretty good drivers. So glad to have him, and some of those drivers are very good. So they're tough.
Yeah.
Not easy.
Some of those guys coming over to the Tuesday series here on Area 51 and Green White Checkered, as well as Bruno Miranda has won quite a few races already this season and has what seems to be a near lock on the championship battle in that series. But a lot of talent there coming from that LBAV, and appreciate them joining us here at Area 51 as well.
Been relatively calm now. But as I look further back, Gabe Butler and company is slowly but surely gaining on the guys up front.
Yeah, they're running even that last time by 50.05 to 50.03 for the 2 separate packs. So we will see if these guys have enough speed to get up to that lead pack there. Gabe Butler getting the push from Brian Wang. Trying to get back to that lead pack. As of right now, it is only 9 drivers here in this first pack on the lead lap, and I believe we've got Bob Fitzgerald now, lap car, mixed in the bunch here. These guys have pretty much been settled to run single file here.
Yeah, there's not really much going on. They're trying to pull away from the Gabe Butler and company, because they're going to be tough to beat. But they do have Kevin Freese in the middle of them, though.
We'll be passing the halfway point this time by as Rick Sanchez continues to lead, looking to try and cement his bonus points for the most laps led for tonight.
Right.
He's got a pretty good bid at it through the first half of this race. We'll have to see how the second plays out. But after green flag pit stops, the 532, 83, 54, and 85 have been linked nose to tail, with the 30, the 25, the 16, and the 55 all rocking together, as we see Brandon Briggs coming in this time on the split fuel strategy after he came in about 5 laps after the first yellow to take the fast repair and get the rest of his damage fixed. So he was quite a bit slow on the speedway.
Right. Yeah, if I was in Brandon's shoes that last time around, I would have put it with the leaders. Just take a little bit of fuel, just top off. You're not going to risk yourself even go any more further down. But now that Bob Fitzgerald went a lap down, now it's really going to be a long night for Brandon now.
Yeah, he would need 4 cautions at this point for him to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah.
Because Bob is 1 lap down. And then assuming that there would be no other cars that go lap down, Brandon would get his 3 back on the subsequent 3 cautions. So 4 cautions needed for him. Seems very unlikely through the halfway point of this race, but you never know. Anything can happen here. As the 32 is going to jump to the high side here. He's going to pick up the 16 of Rafael Eckert, trying to get that outside lane going.
Interesting. Well, it looks like they are. No, it looks like his brother was moving up for him. I think his brother just disappeared.
No. Yeah, we see Patrick here. We do not. Okay, there's Seth. There's Seth. Okay. Some connection issues for Seth there for a moment, but he is back.
Because they both run on the same connection. I'm guessing something. Uh-oh.
See him blink out there once again. And continue, but Rafael and Patrick are now a little bit further off the pace here. Patrick is trying to catch up, and we see Gabe Butler now only about 2 seconds off of Patrick Groover at the moment. They're still 4 seconds off, about 5 seconds actually, off of our leaders, as they have not made any headway to Rick Sanchez, but with a couple extra cars here in the middle, might get a chance for them to catch back up, as Seth, Raphael, and Patrick... Seth, Raphael, and the lap car of Bob Fitzgerald are solidified in the pack here, but Patrick is about 2 seconds off now, so he may not be able to catch up to this group.
They will.
Yeah. Yeah, Patrick's about 2 seconds off. 3 seconds off of the back of Raphael now.
Well, the 54 is really going to help the 88, the 05, and 071 now.
They're just going to pick him up. They're not even going to bother passing.
Yeah, they are. No. Yeah, it was a smart move.
Sportsmanship there.
Well, being the 05 pushing the 88 all this time, he's probably overheated, and it probably give Gabe a chance to push the 54 back up toward the front there. Give 05 a little bit of a rest.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. They were pretty even. Gabe Butler and Rick Sanchez were that last time by. So we'll have to pay attention to that gap and the speeds at the line, as Rick Sanchez continues to lead this single file parade lap around 2.6 mile Talladega Superspeedway. So we'll see at the stripe here, comparing the lap times for the 5 of Rick Sanchez. It's going to be a 49.79 to Patrick Groover's 49.42. Now they've got the momentum to catch back up. So 0.3 of a second there for Patrick Groover and company. Now they should have that momentum and the power with 4 cars to make their way back up to the front of this pack.
Yeah, because Jim Brooks, they're catching the draft off of Jim Brooks. That's significantly now. Hopefully Jim can latch onto the back of these guys and hopefully able to keep up.
That last time by a 49.86 for Rick Sanchez, a 49.33 for Patrick Groover, so 0.5 of a second faster.
That's crazy.
If they get within about a second, they will be able to pull up to the draft. And it's going to be Keith Horner at the back of this field. He's about half a second off the back of Bob Fitzgerald. So once they can get to within a second or so of Keith Horner, they should be able to catch back up. But Rick Sanchez is going to continue to lead us around the field, at the front of the field, I should say. The 83, 85, 30, and 25 still your top five.
They're just eating up that deficit.
0.6 of a second
Boomer.
that lap.
They are just flying.
You can see it. That deficit for Patrick in the 9th position on the scoring tower there. See how fast they are catching the gap now, 2.5 seconds. And it should be enough for them to be able to get up to this lead pack here and be in position. So most of the field pitting on lap 29. Going another 20 laps would put us here at about lap 49. And then you'll have 25 laps to the end, which would be quite a ways to stretch. I still think they're going to have to pit twice more, but we'll see if anybody is daring enough to try and stretch it to 25 laps.
Yeah, there will be somebody willing to try that. They are there, Boomer.
They have caught back up.
That is crazy.
And a pack of what was 9 became 8 is now 12. As Karen is asking why her other son, her recently adopted son, is why Gael is not racing tonight.
Like the excuse. I want to see you out in the field next week.
Yeah, well, I want to see him in the booth so I can race one of these. But also won't be next week, though.
Why not?
Because we're off.
Oh, okay. Good excuse.
So Rick Sanchez continuing to cement that bonus point for himself for the most laps led. Getting probably, we'll say, pretty close to that. I don't know how many everybody else has led, but he's led quite a few so far at the beginning or before and after the first green flag pit cycle. As it has been, like I mentioned, a single file parade lap at about 190 miles an hour around this super speedway.
We're on lap 49 now there, boss.
No takers this time by. Now I really want to know in the chat what Gael made for dinner.
Yeah, so far nothing in the chat has transpired that these guys are pitting. Hopefully here pretty soon.
Yeah, that would be pretty crazy to see them save enough fuel to go. What would be, if they pit this time, it'd be 24 laps, which is a ton. And that was, I mean, obviously if you pit on lap 6 or 7, if you came in that second time to pit on lap 7, this helps. But at the time, I really didn't think that would be enough laps to make it to the end. It could be close, but that is going to be a lot of laps to stretch as we're going to have takers this time.
Yeah, here they come, boss.
5 to 83, the 32, 30, and 87. That's going to leave...
Excuse me.
So the 5 and the 85 actually split with that strategy there. That's going to leave Adam Kilday, Kevin Freese, Dean Wilkinson and Rafael Eckert.
So I expect these guys to come in this time. As much fuel as Patrick burned, catch up back up. Yep. Here's a chime in from Patrick. He's coming in. Hopefully not by himself.
No, he'll have Dean
Okay,
Wilkinson.
he does have a few friends.
Ooh, contact from the 55.
Oh, no.
He gets hit in the back pretty hard. I remember who that was. Oh, that was Bob Fitzgerald got into the back of him.
Oh, man.
Bob having lots of troubles tonight with pit road speeds. So
yeah.
Patrick Groover's not going to have a dancing partner as he comes out.
No, he's not. It's going to be a lonesome time for Patrick.
24 laps to go. Adam Kilday, Kevin Freese, Rafael Eckert, Gabe Butler, Brian Wang, Eric Laurie still have not made their pit stop. Neither have Ryan Decker, Bud Silo, Maxwell Caldwell, but they are 17 seconds behind our leaders as we are coming in for pit stops this time by for most of the rest of the field. Gabe Butler with a bit of a lockup at the last second, but down to pit road speeds, a lap car. Andrew Pleshy leading the way in front of the 85 and 25. So they're going to peel off onto the concrete and make their pit stops, and you'll see you could be a ghost car to others when you are on the concrete portion of pit road, but once you pull back out onto the asphalt, you can make contact on pit road, so have to be mindful of that as we get back up to speed. The 82 is actually going to pull off ahead of everybody else with a pretty good pit cycle here, but you see Brandon Briggs there by himself. Not going to have a lot of momentum. But the guys that will include the 5 of Rick Sanchez, the 83 of Jack Walls, and the 30 of Carl Lingle, who should have enough momentum to regain the lead here. And you see the speed difference for those getting up to speed coming out of the pits and those already back up to speed. Very easy for this trio to get around into the lead here, as we should tuck back in and have a pretty solid lead pack here. We'll see if anybody's unable to link up to this pack. I think everybody here is going to be able to grab onto this draft. The only one that may not might be the 071 of Eric Laurie, as Gabe Butler and Patrick Groover here are linked up. And we'll see. They've got some work to do to catch back up to the pack, but most of the same drivers you've seen all night at the front of the pack in this lead draft. That's Rick Sanchez, Jack Walls, Carl Lingle, Brian Wang, Seth Groover, Adam Kilday. Rafael Eckert, so second off the lead, but in this pack, Kevin Freese is here too. And you got another second or so back to Patrick Groover and Gabe Butler, who look like they've got enough momentum and should be all able to catch up, actually with the 071 of Eric Laurie as well, able to catch up here. So these will all be in this lead pack here in just a moment. And that will be pretty much everyone we need to keep an eye on for the lead pack. Everyone's going to have to pit one more time, which makes it interesting.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too sure about that. I really think that I'm looking at a few cars here. The guys who pitted the very last time around, I'm talking about the 05, the 85, the 25, the 88, the 071. They have a chance to possibly stretch this field to about 22 laps. Can they make it? That's a very big question.
Yeah, it'll be tough. Definitely some of these drivers could not make it the rest of the different distance. Rafael Eckert, Brian Wang, and Adam Kilday, as well as Kevin Freese, have the best opportunity. Gabe Butler and Eric Laurie do as well. There's this second pack that you see here about 20 seconds off of our leaders, led by Ryan Decker, Maxwell Caldwell, Bud Steele, Dean Wilkinson, and most of this pack had issues coming to pit road on the first green flag pit stop. I don't remember who it was, but someone got a little sideways and collected pretty much every one of these cars in this pack here, except for the 08 of Bob Fitzgerald that you see there. But all these guys involved with an issue on pit road. Yellow flag is out.
As twice.
See if we can see who's involved. I'm not
Oh
sure yet.
boy. Oh man.
Well, we'll hop around and we'll see if we can follow.
I would put my camera on the 30 and the 16.
Yep, there we go. We see the 30 of Blind Squirrel Racing. Hard impact into the outside wall.
Yeah.
In the short shoot off of turn 4. See if we can take it back and see what happened here. Nope, I clicked a different TV. There we go. Ooh, a little bit of a, man, just locking bumpers with the 16 there.
Yeah, 16 got a little bit of extreme with the side draft there. 30 came up just a little bit, and Boomer, that's all it takes.
It does not take much. We'll get one more look at it here. As you see the 16 holding tight to the rear quarter panel of the 30, as the 30 is going to go for a ride. And I think that's everybody involved.
Yeah. Lucky for Carl, he really doesn't have that much damage. He got kind of lucky in that ordeal.
Yeah. And that will give everybody on the lead lap an opportunity to catch back up here. I believe the lucky
And that fuel
dog
saving
is
has gone out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's pit here, and you can go the rest of the way. I think the lucky dog is going to go to the 87 of Keith Horner here. Trying to jump around here. Apologies for that. Rick Sanchez looks like he's going to come off of pit road first. If Seth Groover has something to say about it, and he will.
Oh.
Seth Groover's going to get off of pit road first there. And he is going to take the lead. Rick Sanchez, Jack Walls, Adam Kilday, and Bud Steele will come out your top 5. It's going to bring Jeremy Osborne, Eric Laurie, Carl Lingle, Ryan Decker, Ambrose Kniebel up to the lead pack, as well as the 48 of Grandpa Decker.
Grandpa Decker.
As Caitlin has coined.
Oh boy.
So 18 laps to go. We're going to get the wave around for the 82 and the 18, it looks like. The last time Brandon Briggs pit was lap 35. So I don't see any opportunity other than for him to pit. Andrew Pileshi did pit on lap 50, though. And I think this would put him one lap down if he were to get back around. No, yes. So he'll be one lap down. He scored one lap down right now because he's ahead of the leaders.
Yes.
But that'll put him one lap down. And pitting on lap 50, he should be able to stretch to 25 laps of fuel with the pace laps that we'll have here under yellow. And before we get this sorted out for our second restart of the evening, we'll take another quick commercial break.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Alrighty, we are set to go back to green. We saw Seth Groover there stopping on the back stretch as he's coming back up to the lead here. Had a bit of an issue, but looks like he is back. So Seth is going to start on the inside with Rick Sanchez to his outside. Jack Walls will be the second car in the inside lane. Adam Kilday lined up with his partner in the outside lane as we will get ready to go. 17 laps. It'll be 16 as we cross the stripe. Everybody's good to go on fuel. We've got 19 cars on the lead lap, and we are green flag once again. And as we get back up to speed here, how about a little crank it up? Even in the virtual world, it's great to hear these race car engines soar as Rick Sanchez has found his way to the bottom and to the lead ahead of the 85 and 83. It's the 30 and the 16 working together after making contact and bringing out the last yellow flag. They are working in the middle lane with the help of Brian Wang. Outside lane is the 88 and 94 of Gabe Butler and Maxwell Caldwell. As Brian Wang's going to jump up there, 94 is going to jump down. Now the intensity ramps up here as we get to 13 to go this time by. The 30 of Carl Lingle trying to lead a lap. Not going to do it that time by. It's going to be the 5 of Rick Sanchez at the stripe. Pretty much all but locking up mathematically the bonus point for the most laps led.
Oh yeah, by far.
I'm guessing, but I almost can 100% confidently say
No,
that
you're
with
right.
how much he spent up at the front.
Yeah.
And it helps to have a friend, the 85, working
Yes,
together
it does.
with him.
Especially a teammate with 85 of Adam Kilday. I don't think Adam's going to leave his wingman. But you never know.
Before we came back, we saw Seth Groover stopping on the backstretch for a quick slice of pie, getting back up and into...
Oh my goodness, this whole pie thing.
Oh, we got the 30 coming down in front of the 5, and that's going to wad up all the cars in the field. Not all of them, but at least half of them, as the 30 of Carl Lingle went for a ride.
Wow. I'm guessing Carl Lingle thought he was clear. He was, unfortunately, not.
Nope, sorry. We're messing up here. You'd think by now we'd know what we're doing here. We'll find it. Here we go. All right, you see the 30 coming down. And not quite clear.
No.
He's going to make impact with the 5, the 85, the 82, the 25. So the only 3 that pretty much have gotten through that were the 16. It looks like the 5. Yep, the 5 after the initial contact. And then the 05, the 88, and the 94. And the 94 has damage from earlier on. The 48 looks pretty clean. Brandon Paul with some side swipe there. 071 and 55 with damage that you see. The 51 involved. The 41 looks pretty clean. And then Seth and Patrick Groover far enough back to not be impacted. Eric Laurie, a big hit, the 25, losing the whole nose. Nick Wing looks unscathed, as well as Bob Fitzgerald. But that was a big moment for a lot of guys in the pack. And as you see the 30 sitting on pit road. And we'll have to wait and see. Kyle, I think your dad did. We're not sure just yet. Ryan Decker coming in for service. And we'll see if he does have a fast repair or not. I think he does.
I know where you
believe he had any issues, but we'll have to wait and see. What was that, Matt? Car looks pretty clean for the 48, but we're going to jump back up to the front. The 3 cars that were pretty much, the only 4 cars really not involved were the 05, the 88, the 94, and the 85. The 94 still has some damage from a previous incident there on pit road.
Yeah.
But the 05 and the 88, as well as the 85, still unscathed.
Where's my pick at?
Your pick is...
He's just rolling on pit road now.
Yes.
Come on, Eric. Don't let me down, brother.
Our favorite Canadian, though, Brian Wang, is going to jump up to the top spot.
And we go green, we're going to have, like... Man, oh man, as Benny Parsons used to say. We have 8 laps to go to decide this one.
That we will. Lights are still on the pace car, so we have a little bit more time as we are going to take another commercial break.
40 Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 40 racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 40racewear.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Lights are off on the pace car. Teammates side by side, the 05 and the 88. ready to take to the restart here. The 94 and the 85 on that second row. 16 and 5, your third row. That's going to be 17 cars on the lead lap. Looks like Keith Horner, Jim Brooks, Bob Fitzgerald, and Andrew Pileshi will be one lap down. Carl Lingle still in the pits repairing damage. That will likely be his night. We didn't see how it happened. Bud Steele is 2 laps down now. And it looks like Brandon Briggs is no longer being scored. So he's going to seal his fate there. Unfortunately, tough night for the 18 of Brandon Briggs. 05 and the 88 are going to take the long trip through the tri-oval, patiently waiting for the restart zone. We'll see if there's some teammate collaboration between the two to get lined up together and get the push. We'll be coming back with 8 laps to go here. Barney the Flagman waving the green flag. We are underway once again. The 3 and the 48 trying to make a move to the outside. 48 says no, he's going to jump down and try to get the spot over the 3. They are the first set of cars 3 wide at the moment. Further on back. At the front, it's Brian Wang with the push of 94, Maxwell Caldwell, the 16 of Raphael Eckert. Your middle lane is the 88, the 08, the 85, and the 5. Gabe Butler, Adam Kilday, and the 5 of Rick Sanchez.
I do see that third lane forming. I was kind of wondering when Patrick was going to move.
Ooh, we got a wreck at the front of the field.
Oh, no.
The 94 is going to get shuffled out. We are going to stay green.
Winner.
Staying green for now. The 85 and the 5 are organized.
Oh,
41
Seth
of
Gruber.
Jeremy Osborne.
He's damaged. Badly damaged.
Looks like Dean Wilkinson off the pace. Eric Flory off the pace. Seth Groover was involved. Maxwell Caldwell involved.
My pick.
But it's Adam Kilday and Rick Sanchez. The 41 of Jeremy Osborne now getting passed by the 88 and the 05. And it looks like it's going to be 2-car tandems at the front here. As the 88 and the 05 are going to try and get back up to the front. Gabe Butler from the pole has not spent a lot of time in the lead, but he is back there now when it counts. And he's going to jump down to the bottom to cover the 85.
Yeah, that's really smart. Oh, he jumps back to the top. Yep.
Trying to grab the teammate.
Oh.
No caution. We stay green. 6 laps to go. The rest of this pack has reformed here, and the top 10 will settle this.
Don't count out Kevin Freese and Jim Brooks and looks like Nicholas Wing back there. Then the 3-pack back there. They're just
they are catching back
up. Yeah. Yep.
It helps that it's too wide in front of them, cutting a bigger hole through the air for them to catch back up. So it'll be the top 12 now who have the opportunities to try and win this race with 5 to go. The 80 and the 05 still lined up nose to tail. As the 48 and the 28 and the 16 now trying to make something happen in that third lane. Gonna squeeze 4 wide here with the lap cars. Ooh, that was sketchy. We get through it, and then the 16 makes contact with the outside wall.
Yeah, it's going to be
yellow. That's
going
to bring a yellow.
Who got the lead when the caution came out?
It looks like Adam Kilday.
We're going overtime.
That we are. See if we can figure out. Let's actually take this back. We're just going to... There's no good way to find this without rewinding it, so we're just going to rewind it here. patience, please, and appreciate that. And we'll watch these guys. Was it earlier in this corner that they were going 4 wide? No, sorry. Here we go. I still don't know what I'm doing.
That was Neko with the 16.
All right, we're gonna watch this 4 wide squeeze. Is where some of the chaos started to happen here. So the 32 holding a pretty wheel in the outside lane here, as we are almost 4 wide behind them before we get there, and we get through. So from here, we'll watch Ryan Decker by himself without any help at the moment and see how this one unfolded. Man, that's tough to call. That seems like it's more just tight racing, but the 48 and the 16 getting involved there in the outside lane, and now they're 4 wide. And at this point, the 16 drifts a little down, turns the 48.
Tough break for Ryan Decker.
Yeah. He should still have opportunities here, but he's definitely got a beat-up car and is going to need to repair a little bit of it.
Yeah, I really feel for him. That's just unfortunate bad luck. Caitlin, I'm sorry. I know you want to get Ryan to win so bad, but it's not over. I think Ryan does have a fast repair in the bank.
So Adam Kilday was ahead at the point of caution. Rick Sanchez second, Gabe Butler, Jeremy Osborne, and Brian Wang, your top 5. And we will have a green-white checkered restart and finish here. It's been a minute since we've had a green-white checkered restart and finish here on Green-White Checker TV.
You're probably right. I can't remember the last one.
It's definitely been a few races. I almost venture to say we haven't had one yet this season. Maybe we have, but it's been.
Don't make me go research.
It's been a while. It really has. I can't think of a single one in recent memory where we had. I know we've had a couple restarts within 5 or 6 or within 10 laps to go, but I don't think we've had a green-white checker restart here on Green-White Checker TV.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It has, but it's also been a minute since we've taken a commercial break and heard from our wonderful friends at 4draceware.com, so we will do that now.
4D Racewear, makers of the ultimate sim racing shoes and custom apparel designed for sim racing by sim racers. 4D racing shoes are engineered to connect racers to the pedals in a way no other racing shoe can, all the while giving you the comfort needed to complete those double and triple stints. Visit 4draceware.com and check out the latest sim racing products that let you connect to your sim.
Remember to use that discount code AREA5115, AREA5115 at 4dracewear.com. That's 4D as in Delta, racewear.com for 15% off your sim racing apparel as we get ready to settle This will be the final race of the regular season here. 17 cars on the lead lap. Seth Groover, Jim Brooks, Bob Fitzgerald, Andrew Pleshy still a lap down. Bud Steele 2 laps down. Carl Lingle retiring for the evening, as well as Brandon Briggs.
Yeah, I feel for Carl.
It's going to be a 3-lap shootout. The 85 and the 88 are lined up nose to tail. The 5 and the 41 in the outside lane. Nose to tail as well, as the pace car is going to pull off. And we will see the green flag, the white flag, and the checkered flag. If we see the yellow before we see the white flag, we will have another attempt at a green, white, checkered finish. If we see the yellow after the white flag, we will race back to the line.
For the
Underway
record,
once again.
For the record, this is our second green, white, checkered attempt of the season.
A good push for the inside lane, the 85, the 88, and the 05 all lined up. The 5 backing up to the 41. The 88's going to jump up to the outside lane.
Oh, 85 tries to go up the block, but he doesn't, but he's got the 05 pushing the 85.
Blind Squirrel Racing teammates behind the 88 and the 5. The third lane is forming for some of the Junk Food Racing teammates. The 85 and the 05 linked up on the bottom, though, have the advantage at the moment. As they drift up a little off of turn 4, and the 05 is going to link up with his teammate in the outside lane. 3 wide further on back. We're getting squirrely, but we are going to make it to the line. White flag is in the air. No cautions will be thrown. We will race back 2.66 miles to the finish.
Oh, and Adam lost a lot of spots there, but can he recover, though?
The 05 gets disconnected from the 88, and they push
Oh,
through the bottom. Brian through the middle here is going to get swallowed up by the pack. The 5 to the lead on the outside with the help from Jeremy Osborne, as he's going to get all the way back to the bottom ahead of the 88. The 85 lined up.
They're going to go 4 wide here.
4 wide behind them. They are bouncing off each other, wrecking further behind through the tri-oval. It's Rick Sanchez with the advantage. The 88 gets to his outside. It's going to be a drag race to the finish. Kevin Freese pushing the 5. Who is going to win it? It is going to be Rick Sanchez for his third win of the season.
Wow. What a recovery drive by the 5.
And a recovery for Kevin Freese as well.
He's been smoking this season. Absolutely killing it. And I told you he's the hottest driver.
The teammates got disconnected in the 5 and the 85, but so did the 05 and the 88. Brian Wayne got swallowed up in the middle. Rick Sanchez and Adam not able to find each other, but the 25 found the rear bumper of the 5. And it was pretty much anybody you can push in front of you at the end of the race. Definitely a lot of credit there to Jeremy Osborne as well, as he had the push there for the 5 to get him up to the lead. He's going to be rewarded with a solid 6th place finish tonight. But we've got a couple interviews here for our podium placers as we get ready to bring them up. A couple guys we've heard from a few times this season.
Yeah.
No strangers to the broadcast booth here. And we'll have them up in just a minute. Starting with the 25 of Kevin Freese. Kevin, we saw a little bit of chaos there. It looked like you were involved with at least one yellow flag that we had tonight. And kind of came out of nowhere. And we're there at the end to push the 5 to the lead. Yeah, what did that look like from your vantage point in the driver's seat?
It was crazy. I think I was getting pushed there at the end by Ryan, and I was just trying not to run over Rick because I knew he had it because the top just like died out a little bit there. So I didn't want to like do anything to screw his race completely over. So I was trying to like just give him a tap without like pushing too hard because the tri-oval is just so sketchy in these cars sometimes as the tires get hot. Yeah, it certainly was an adventure of a race. Had to make a visit to the tri-oval grass there towards the beginning of the race. That was
That's
not
right.
a planned visit.
Yeah,
Yeah, that wasn't planned at all.
we didn't think you had too much damage from that though. It looked like it was okay. Was there any damage that you had to repair from that?
No, there wasn't. Thank God, there wasn't any damage from that. But the next wreck, that one, yeah,
Did you use your
that
fast
that.
repair, right?
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
made up for the first one and then some.
Yeah, we saw it.
The car,
I think we
the
saw
car
your
wouldn't
whole
go anywhere.
front nose come off on that one. So yeah.
Yeah, it went for a little bit of a wild ride. So that was an unfortunate incident there, but yeah, we're able to just make it through. Make it through the last bit of chaos there. Get to the bottom lane. I thought that Gabe and I would both clear, maybe have a chance because the lanes got super disorganized. But he was able to get up pretty quick there, and yeah, and then great job by Rick there, managing the chaos behind him and pulling out the win.
So Kevin, I'm really just really wanting to know.
Yeah.
If that caution wouldn't have come out and you guys had like 22 laps to go on fuel, could you have made it?
No. No
wow,
way.
that's interesting.
Yeah, so we were trying to like hardcore save, and if we were gonna make it, there was no way to make it. It's just, would you have been able to last long enough to run
Right.
out at a time that you wouldn't lose? But
Pretty close.
yeah, I think I was a full lap short. So we were trying to plan what we were gonna have to do there, and yeah, I wasn't terribly upset to see it. I knew from that the restart that we had in that pit cycle that Gabe said this is a fuel mileage race, and I thought I was actually in trouble because I couldn't top off because I had to pit early because of the damage. I couldn't make it around, so I had an EOL, and there were drivers come well behind me. So I would have had to basically stop on the track, which would have brought out that delayed green, and you don't want to do that. So
you don't want to do that.
Yeah, you don't want to be that guy, especially in a fuel mileage race, because some people enjoy those. I'm not one, but yeah, that would have thrown everything into complete chaos.
Yeah, we thought.
But a great job tonight.
We thought it was definitely going to be a little tight on fuel there with the way those worked out until I think the second to last or third to last, whatever it ended up being yellow there. But so obviously we've had a chance to talk to you quite a bit this season. You've now got in 8 starts, 5 top 5s and 6 top 10s. You are leading the points going into the playoffs and have 1 win to your name and probably a bunch more podiums even with those 5 top 5s. Do you consider yourself a championship favorite going into the playoffs?
I actually think that Rick has been by far more consistent of late with the way the races have been running. Because I mean, I had a sizable gap there, I think, for a little while. It was like 20 something points, I believe, and he has cut that down to 7. So, and he was even further behind, I think, at one point. So he's done a great job, and if he just keeps running that consistent and that clean of a race, this is going to be a heck of a championship run.
All right, so the follow-up here is then, what do you think is it going to take to beat him?
Not making unplanned visits to the infield. And
that's a good start.
Yeah. And just trying to have a clean race. I said it to Gabe about the Sunday night series. I used to be able to just bank on getting those the 0 incident bonus almost all of the Area 51 races, but just the way the drivers are far people have turned up the competition quite a bit. I'm not like in as much control as it used to be, and it's caused like, and if there is an incident with, especially with the truck draft model and these B cars, sometimes you can get caught up in other people's stuff pretty easy. And if somebody's able to keep their nose clean and just keep those strong, consistent finishes, that's going to be tough to beat. Those, I think it's, what is it, 3 bonus points for a 0x? Those really, really add up.
Yeah, definitely.
So
two bonus.
I'm sorry. So I was looking at the gap. I was looking at a bit of history. Rick Sanchez, max points that he was behind you was 26. Now the difference is 7.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That's
if you
in
look
3
at the
races.
way, yeah, if you look at the way he's been running, like, he keeps that up, it's gonna be tough.
Well, the points will reset next week. Actually, sorry, we'll be off next week. In 2 weeks' time, they'll reset for the playoffs, and we'll get a chance to watch you, Rick Sanchez, Gabe Butler, and a bunch of other names compete for that championship here, and we look forward to that action unfolding. But Kevin here, 3rd place tonight after a great recovery. Want to roll that red carpet out for you for any thanks or shout-outs for that 3rd place finish tonight.
Yeah, thanks to the drivers who were all up front there at the end. That was a really fun, crazy, hectic finish, but we love those. Thanks to all the boys on Team Bootnocker. We ran a great race tonight. We got spread apart quite a bit there a couple of times, but managed to all find each other's bumpers towards the end of these races. It's pretty awesome to run with those guys. Congrats to Rick on the win. Thank you to you guys for putting on the broadcast.
All right, well, appreciate it, Kevin, and wish you the best of luck as we get into the playoff swing here in 2 weeks' time.
All right, you guys have a great night.
Alrighty, so that was the 25 of Kevin Freese. Next up will be the 88 of Gabe Butler with the very special paint scheme for St. Patrick's Day. Have a feeling that you'll be planning to celebrate that at some point this weekend here, Gabe.
Oh, of course, I mean, Saturday and Sunday, 24, 48 hours. I should be in good shape Monday.
It sounds like going to be a blast over there.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, we saw some chaos going on. Obviously, the wonderful green scheme for the weekend. But we saw some chaos throughout this race. You're caught up in, I think, the second yellow. I think you and Kevin actually were caught up in that. And we saw you come back. We see a little bit of damage there on the side of that 88 Guinness Chevrolet, but able to come back to second. And I mean, you, Rick, Adam, and Brian all were battling pretty hard for that top spot within the last probably 15 laps or so. Take us through what all that looked like from your vantage point.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty crazy. I did get some damage from that yellow, but nothing to make it worth pitting for. So, I mean, and then I think lap 68, we were running pretty tight with Brian leading. I think Maxwell was pushing him, and we had an incident there. Me and Brian were able to save it. I don't know how, but we were. We were able to keep going. I think that might have hurt us a little bit, but yeah. And then the green-white checker was crazy. It was just a all-out, no-lift push, and they're coming out of 4. Richard moved just a little bit high, maybe into tri-oval, and I saw Kevin coming, so I ducked down, and then Richard started to come back down to block it, and I figured if I didn't get out of that and just try and go to his outside, I probably would have killed us all. So I shot to the outside and took a chance, and wasn't able to get there, but it was a hell of a run by Richard, and good finish there by Kevin.
Yeah, it looks like you guys were battling for quite a bit there on that green-white checkered. And it looked like for a moment there, coming into the tri-oval, you had an opportunity to get to his outside, that is Rick Sanchez's outside, but didn't seem like you had enough momentum or enough of a push to seal the deal there, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, Kevin came out like a bat out of hell on the bottom. I moved up, and he was able to tag on to Rick and push him on through. But I mean, yeah, probably a few too many cautions for Area 51's type of racing. But overall, I mean, it was a pretty good, hard-fought race. And the end there, I mean, it was a hell of a finish. And so, I mean, P2, good finish. Can't complain.
Not bad at all, for sure. Solid night after a good battle towards the end there for you. So I asked this to Kevin already. We talked about the championship point standings. Obviously, you are in third with 226 points after tonight. Kevin has 244. Obviously, that'll all reset, but you're 18 points behind coming into or through the first 8 events. I know even Kevin said that he didn't feel like he was the favorite. He thought that Rick Sanchez may be, but I want you to take us through maybe some of that. And do you agree with that statement that Rick is the favorite? And if so, what do you think is it going to take to beat him?
Well, I mean, it's probably hard to go against that thought. I mean, he's just been really consistent this year, so I mean, I can't disagree with that statement whatsoever. But it is kind of championship racing, and everybody's starting from scratch basically, all the playoff drivers. So I mean, anything can happen. We've got 4 different tracks that we race at, so you might have bad look at one and have great look at 3 others, or you might have bad look at all 3 and just have one good race. And kind of the way it's set up is you really got to be consistent here to win the championship. And so far this season, I think Rick has done a great job. So yeah, I'd put him as favorite. Nothing like putting pressure on him. So
there you go.
But I did tell him tonight. I was glad that at least a green car won the race. So I give him props for that.
Yeah, it's great. A lot of awesome schemes for the St. Patrick's Day holiday, and always fun to participate with some of that stuff. But so before we let you go, before we give you the red carpet there, I do want to ask one more thing. What are your biggest keys to the next 4 weeks after we come back from the week off to trying to secure yet another championship here at Area 51?
Mainly just to try and get consistent finishes, hopefully podiums, and try and maintain that. I mean, you don't have to win every race, but if you can stay fairly consistent and getting the top 5s, maybe you have a chance. But other than that, you need some luck too. But we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it.
Alrighty, Gabe. Well, congratulations to a solid night. Didn't quite win the battle for the green-white checkered, but definitely in the conversation and had a great opportunity tonight. I want to give you that red carpet now and give you any opportunities for thanks or shout-outs for that second place finish.
A big shout out to the teammates. We had Brian in with us tonight, Eric, Kevin, and it's always a blast running with those guys. And Area 51 for putting on this league. It's always fun. Always enjoyed it. Always will. And of course, you guys up in the booth, Boomer, you guys do a fantastic job. Looking forward to watching it later on.
Well, we appreciate that, Gabe, and wish you the best of luck heading into the playoffs. Good luck in the off week, and don't go too crazy on Sunday.
Yeah, I'll probably need more luck on Sunday.
Good deal. Well, enjoy the holiday, my friend, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys, have a good one.
You too, bud.
Thanks, Matt.
Yep.
Alrighty. One more interview to go, and that is for the 5 of Rick Sanchez. We'll bring him up here into the booth. And Rick, this is the 3rd win on the season. Nobody else able to get to the 2-win mark. And we're hearing that some people are considering you possibly the favorite for the championship. But before we get to that, I want to ask you how tonight went from your vantage point.
From mine, it seemed pretty smooth. I mean, we had a few more reds, probably yellows than we're used to over here. But for my race, I didn't have any problems anywhere. I didn't run into any. Most of the trouble happened behind me, and everything seemed to be smooth. I had good pit stops, came out, in good position, and looking forward to the end of the race to see how it came out. And I think we have 2 more yellows at the end.
Yeah.
It kind of changed things up a little bit, but the same guys I think that would have finished without those yellows finished up there again. So
So,
yeah.
Rick, I'm curious. What was your mindset when you got involved in that one caution that pretty much took you out of the lead? I know you're probably like, oh God, not again. And I got to work my way all the way back up, but your confidence level is so high. I mean, how do you? How?
Yeah, and then I was told it wasn't too bad. I think it was it said 4x, but it wasn't that bad, the damage.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's a lot of luck, and I think I got a bit of the old Irish luck tonight, with the paint job, and anytime you run around that Guinness
Right.
car, you can get some luck too. So
I wish I had that luck.
it comes every once in a while, and you just grab it when you can and run with it. So that's what I'm doing.
I totally understand.
Yeah, we heard Gabe say he was appreciative that a green car won the race. So appreciate your participation in the spirit of the holiday coming up here for St. Patrick's Day.
I almost forgot about it and went to come in here and race. I said, "Oh, I was supposed to change to St. Patrick's scheme. Let me go in here and change real quick." And I think I got in with 10 minutes left to practice, but I made it.
There you go. Well, I touched on it earlier, but obviously we talked to Kevin and Gabe already, and they mentioned that they think that you're probably one of the bigger favorites or the favorite to try and take home this championship here. So I guess it's kind of a two-part question. What I've asked them as well is, do you agree with that statement? And if so, or if not, what do you think is it going to take to bring that championship home?
Oh no, I don't agree with that. I think Gabe and Kevin are the favorites and always are. I may be looking good right now, but at the end of the season, it might be a different story. Gabe comes up with 2 wins in a row, or Kevin, both of them. When they get together, they're hard combo to beat. And I was kind of surprised because I hadn't seen Kevin all night, and all of a sudden there in the trail, he come flying up on my butt, and I was like, I just hoped he got there in time, to finish it off, and he did. So I appreciate his pushing and all the good racing out there, always with everybody else.
So with that, what are the keys going to be over the next 4 weeks to win that championship for you?
I do agree with Gabe on the consistency. You got to have, top 5 finishes to get a championship. And then if you get lucky and can get a win, snag a win in there too. So, yeah, consistency. A lot of luck.
Yeah, seems like that's pretty much the key for everybody. So we'll hope to see who can be, or we'll find out who will be the most consistent over those next 4 weeks. And before we let
Should
you go,
be fun.
Yeah,
should be fun anyway.
Yeah, before we let you go, want to roll that red carpet for any thanks or shout outs tonight, Rick, for that 3rd win of the season.
Shout out to Area 51 putting on a good race, good league. Shout out to 40 Racewear sponsorship. Shout out to Green White Checkered broadcast. You guys up there all the time, always doing a great job. And shout out to the rest of the drivers for always coming out here and putting on a good show and having fun.
Well, we appreciate
Shout out to Chevy Land too. Got him another win.
Yeah, there you go. Chevy Land, Chevrolet. Yeah. Switching manufacturers has been pretty good for you in the off season. Pretty strong start to 2024 for you here, Rick.
Yeah. See how it ends.
Good
Okay,
deal.
wait.
All right, man.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
Alrighty.
Man, what a hot driver. He's been on it. I have nothing to say. 3 wins on the season so far. The last time I seen a driver have 3 wins on the season as Gabe Butler. He went on to win the championship. Just saying. Just saying.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see, like I always say, but we've got some great racing coming up here. 4 solid weeks of playoff action, but before we do that, we're going to recap tonight's race results and go through that finishing order you see on the screen now. We've talked to our top 3. Adam Kilday with another great top 5 effort tonight, coming home in the 4th position. Ryan Decker rebounds to grab the top 5 for himself as well in the 48 Sensi machine. Think most of, at least half of that top 5 there with the special paint schemes tonight, so a little bit of luck of the Irish and help for those guys there. Jeremy Osborne had a pretty solid night for himself there, pushing race winner Rick Sanchez to the lead there at the after the white flag flew. So big moment for Jeremy there to help Rick get the win, and he's gonna come home a solid P6. Brian Wang got sucked up through the middle there. We saw on the final restart the green-white checkered, and he's gonna have to settle for 7th after being up in the mix for most of the last 20 laps or so. Patrick Groover there still in that lead draft. He's going to come home a solid P8. Jack Wall is last week's winner in that 83. Top 10 for him. We saw Maxwell Caldwell get caught up in quite a few yellows tonight. Fortunately for him, able to come back, rebound to the 10th position. Not a bad night for the incidents that he was involved in. Dean Wilkinson involved in a few, including that scuffle on pit road there, but he rebounds for a 11th place finish tonight. Rafael Eckert involved in a couple yellows himself there. He's going to come home in the 12th position out of Brazil. Ambrose Kniebel for Blind Squirrel Racing finds himself in the 13th position for tonight with Eric Laurie there in the 071. Eric getting caught up in quite a few incidents himself. Pretty much everybody throughout the rest of the field having some trouble at one point or another. Brandon Paul coming home in 15th. Keith Warner in 16th there. Nick Wing will be the last car on the lead lap. He's going to come home in the 17th position. Seth Groover there 1 lap down, and he is going to be 18th. For the last bit of results that we have here, we saw Bob Fitzgerald 1 lap down, caught up in some action himself. Andrew Pileshi as well. We saw him and Jim Brooks have some issues, believe potentially some penalties. Not quite sure how that unfolded for them, but we saw them get trapped, I think, a lap down under green flag conditions. Bud Steele comes home 2 laps down. And then Carl Lingle, the night that he had, definitely not the luck he wanted tonight for himself, but was in the mix for sure, putting himself in positions to win, and just wrong place, wrong time for most of the incidents that occurred tonight. And obviously Brandon Briggs, we saw the issue getting the damage in the first caution, and coming down pit road to repair it, not taking the fast repair the first time by, and that definitely was enough to solidify his night. Definitely one he'll want back for sure, but not really any of his own doing, unfortunately. So that is the recap for the results. We're going to bring our points back up, as we should have them updated now after tonight's race, the 8th race of the season. Kevin Freese, we mentioned, is going to be the regular season champion there, 244 points. There won't be any bonuses for that as we get to the playoffs. We're just going to reset. Everyone in the top 16 here, you'll see, will get the complete reset, even points, and it'll be a 4-race battle to determine our champion, the first for 2024. We see a couple names like Justin Lewis unable to attend tonight. He slips 5 spots, but is the last car in by 3 points over Brandon Paul, and is going to make his way in. Dean Wilkinson gets in with a decent night. Carl Lingle had some struggles for sure, but still solidly in, as there's actually a 3-way tie there for the 12th position, but Ambrose Kniebel, Jim Brooks, and Carl Lingle all making it in. Jack Walls with the win last week. Jumped 7 spots to get to tonight, and had a pretty good opportunity, pretty easy ride into the playoffs with that win. Adam Kilday with another solid night. He's going to jump up 5 spots on the evening, taking another spot. Eric Laurie had a pretty quiet night A little bit of damage for him, but he comes home ninth in the standings. We'll be running for the championship. Jacob Lee unable to attend tonight, but he'll be back hopefully in 2 weeks' time for the playoffs, as well as Bud Steele, Andrew Pileshi, and Nick Wing. We've seen Maxwell Caldwell, Nick Wing get his win, Maxwell Caldwell get a win, and then we've already talked to our top three from tonight. They've had quite a few top 10s and quite a few top 5s and podiums here this evening, so we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but unfortunately Brandon Paul, Ryan Decker, Keith Horner Jr., and Bob Fitzgerald not going to be challenging for that championship this time around. But we will have a great battle for your top 16, and we cannot wait to see how it'll unfold here in 2 weeks' time. Definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I'm sorry.
I was going to tee up.
Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm really interested to see how it plays out. Yeah, Kevin, with the consistent finishes. Richard, with also... He had a little bit of bad luck, cleaned it up a little bit, got a little bit more consistent, started winning more races, made up the ground. Now, can he apply that to the playoffs? It could be anybody.
Yeah, with that points reset, if anybody gets into any trouble at any time, it can throw everything up in the air. And who knows? It's going to be a good battle to see. We'll see. I mean, everyone we asked about it is going to say consistency. It's going to take consistency. And you see those three at the front of the field tonight have been there for quite a bit of the season. We'll throw Adam Kilday in there, too. He's had some pretty strong runs with his teammate there, Rick Sanchez, as of late. Jack Walls is in the conversation towards the end there. So some of these guys are just going to have to keep rolling with that consistency. And that's, I mean, I think we've heard it enough. That's going to be the key for the championship battle as we come back. We got the off week next week, but we'll be back in 2 weeks' time, and it'll be 4 weeks in a row to crown that champion, Matt. Nonetheless, it will be, like I said, a week off, and we'll be back. We have... That'll be Atlanta, Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, and Talladega to round out the season. So March 28th and then April 4th, 11th, and 18th. Like we said, 4 weeks in a row of nonstop playoff action here on Thursday nights. Don't forget the series that we have on Tuesday as well. We will be at Las Vegas in 2 weeks' time, so they'll take an off-week break next week as well. And they'll have Las Vegas, Texas, New Hampshire, and Indianapolis back-to-back. The final 4 races of their championship season for 2024, the first championship season, that is. And then we will have a similar schedule for the Sunday Super Speedway Truck Series. They'll be racing at Talladega themselves this Sunday before they settle their grid of 16 for the playoffs. And they are going to have their next race at Atlanta on March 24th. Then they're actually going to take another week off and have Daytona, iRacing Superspeedway, and Talladega April 7th, 14th, and 21st. So they will have a break, a week off, then the first race of the playoffs, a week off, and then the final 3 races. So it'll be nonstop action Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays here on Green White Checker TV with a couple off weeks mixed in between. But it's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we saw a lot more yellows towards the end than we normally see, but it was a good race and some really good racing at the front of the pack within the last 20 laps to go, and then a very exciting Green White Checkered finish where Rick Sanchez came out ahead. Matt.
Yeah, I'm lost for words.
Alrighty, well, I think with that, then we can sign off for myself, Boomer Logan, and my partner, Matt Wagner. We will see you later. Have a good off week next week. Have a great St. Patrick's Day on Sunday, and we'll catch you next time. Take care.